Hello everyone, this is me Sharon and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the kinds of yarn that we can use with this 48-pin Sentro Knitting Machine. We're going to discuss the yarns or the kind of yarns that we can use, especially to those who are living in the Philippines. So I hope you watch and stay until the end of this video. To all my viewers in the Philippines, I will just simply explain this in Filipino so that it's easy. This is requested by one of my subscribers. So itong Sentro Knitting Machine, nabili ko siya sa Shopee and ilalagay ko sa screen kung magkano ko siya nabili. Ito yung pinakamalaki na nakita ko na available sa Shopee. It has 48 pins. And of course made of plastic lang siya. And I found out na mas mag-work siya pag medyo manipis yung yarns na gamit mo. So when you buy this particular product, it comes with different sizes of yarns. Kaso they're unbranded kasi nga they're just free. That comes with this machine na ipakita ko na yon sa unboxing na ginawa ko previously when I first bought this. And for non-knitters, madali siyang gamitin because you have to just crank it and you just have to check the row counter para malaman mo kung nakailang rows ka na, which is located here. So hindi nga lang siya digital like yung Addi knitting machine, but if you're gonna buy the Addi knitting machine na ganito rin kalaki na may 48 pins, it's gonna cost you a lot. Like I think it's around $200. So this is the cheaper version na mabibili sa Pilipinas. Now for this machine, maraming magagawa. Hindi lang siya circular. Mainly, ang size nito is for an adult size beanie. So, if you're gonna use a thinner yarn, like what I'm gonna show you later, makikita nyo yung iba't ibang stitches na pinoproduce niya out of different yarns na nagamit ko. Meron siyang 2 sets. Makikita mo sa gilid. If you're gonna check this one, makikita mo na meron siyang two options. So it has the tube knitting, which is great for making hats, and then the other one is P, which is the panel knitting, good for working in rows. So kung mag-work in rows siya, pipigilan niya yung pag-ikot ng full 360 degrees. Parang ibabalik mo yung pag-crank niya. Ganun. It is stable, especially if you're gonna use on a tiled surface. Yung may tiles, usually pag sa kitchen nyo nilagay, may stabilize yung foot niya at mas madaling makrank. Also, I have tried to use this one sa may mga glass surface. Mas ano siya, mas maganda siya nakakabit doon kasi magka-crank ka lang, hindi mo nahawakan yung mga paa ng Sentro Knitting Machine. When you buy this one, make sure to ask the seller na ipa-bubble wrap. Pag nagpa-request ka na paki-bubble wrap naman, siguro may iwasan yung konting crack because I found out that it has a crack dito sa may banda dito. So if you can see it, yun. So I was kind of disappointed at first kasi baka mamaya affect siya sa tension. Fortunately, okay naman siya. Hindi naman siya naka-affect. But, you know, syempre pag meron tayong bagong item, mas prefer natin yung walang crack kahit saan, diba? And when I got this package, hindi siya naka-bubble wrap. Yun lang isa sa mga concern ko. Sana nilagyan pa nila ng added protection like yung bubble wrap para walang crack at iwas replacement, diba? So later I'm gonna show you the yarns that I have used with this Sentro Knitting Machine. So this one is the very first beanie na pinakita ko sa inyo, I made a tutorial on how to make this beanie. It's reversible, so you will simply just work a couple of rows to be able to make this reversible hat. So very easy siya, and you will only need a few yarns to make this one. Compared sa crocheting, mas konti lang ang nakukonsume ng yarn. With this one, I think I did about 130 rows. It's a fingering weight yarn. Yan. So, makikita nyo, yung stitches niya, hindi masyadong dikit-dikit. So, when you stretch it, dun mo makikita yung mga V's na and then mo marirecognize yung stitch niya na it's knitted. So, this one is a Japan surplus yarn. Kanebo brand. It has this different colors spreading across. So, parang ano siya, variegated, but mainly yellow. And then may siya, tas may dark yellow, green, and some orange. So, ang cute niya, diba? So, with this second hat naman, nag-experiment ako. What if I do the double pull? So, ganito siya. Kapag nag-double pull ka, makikita mo na mas siksik yung stitches niya. And mas makapal na siya. So, if you're going to use this in summer season, parang hindi siya bagay kasi nga medyo makapal and mainit na siya. So, ganito yung itsura niya. And of course, when you're using the Sentro Knitting Machine and you're using double pull fingering weight yarn, it's best for you to just keep on holding the yarn. Kasi minsan kapag hindi mo nababantayan, chances are baka sumabit yung needle, and of course if sumabit siya, mag-uulit ka na naman. So I did this in one cranking, so hindi naman ako nagkamali, which is really nice. For me, very convenient yun if you plan on making a lot of hats, and there's no problem if you're gonna use a double pull fingering weight yarn. This one I posted on my IG account, so if, say for example, you want to know how many rows I did using the fingering weight yarn, you will see all the information in there. Ngayon, with our local yarns naman, I have used the Indophil for ply. Alam nyo naman na ever since I love using the locally made yarns na Indophil or Lanalon. So, with the Indophil 4-ply, ito, hindi yan double pull. So, if you're gonna look closely, makikita mo ang ganda-ganda ng stitches niya. And also, let me just remind you na most Indophil yarns, they are unlabeled ones. Pag binili mo siya sa hanger market, doon mo makikita yung differences ng kapal nila. They don't have the same thickness, and from my understanding, hindi sila pare-pareho ng thickness, simply maybe because of pagkakaday sa kanila. So with this one, medyo makapal siya, and you can see how the stitches are really forming much better, diba? Hindi siya double pull kasi 4-ply siya. And of course, when you're using the Sentro Knitting Machine, lalo na with untwisted yarns like Indophil 4-ply, you have to check every now and then the thread that is going through each needle, kasi minsan kapag sumabit siya, mag-uulit ka na naman. Luckily, I tried this in one go, so meaning hindi ako nagkamali or maya-maya chine-check ko yung mga thread kung okay sila, kasi minsan nasasabit and kailangan mo mag-ulit. So this one, luckily hindi ko kinailangan mag-ulit. So ang ganda niya. Ang nakakatuwa kasi with knitting, hindi lang nakukonsume niya na yarn compared to crocheting. So yun ang pinaka benefits when you're making a hat using the Sentro Knitting Machine. mas konti yung kailangang yarn to produce this particular beanie. Anyway, with the size of the Sentro Knitting Machine that has 48 pins, it usually fits an adult size. So for adult size talaga yung 48 pins na yan. I tried this hat on and sakto lang siya sa akin. Also, sakto din sa 8-year-old na anak ko. So if you're planning to make this kind of beanie, pwede siya for 8-year-old pataas. Or probably kahit 6 years old. Hindi na masyadong slouchy. Now, with this one naman, ito yung Indophil din. But if you're going to look, parang mas loose yung pagkaka-knit sa kanya. So, I experimented using the tension. Kasi diba dun sa pinaka-tension holder niya, merong tight, medium, and super tight, ganon. So, tinry ko yung medyo loose, and this is what it looked like. Single pull lang din siya. I don't think na mag-work siya if you're going to do a double pull sa Indophil 4-ply kasi nga magiging 8 strands na siya at baka mahirapan ng umikot sa knitting machine. So I also posted all of this sa IG account ko and you will see how many rows I did. So ito naman is a merino yarn. Yun ang brand niya, but it's also a Japan Surplus yarns. Medyo soft siya and I think it's made of cotton. I don't really know, but yeah, soft siya and medyo manipis lang din siya. Single pull lang din ito and it's a fingering weight yarn. This one is also a Kmjshop brand Japan Surplus yarn. So around 100 to 130 rows nito. Reversible din siya. So I made one long tube tapos pinag-connect ko siya dito sa dulo. And you will see that in my tutorial. So ito naman is yung variegated yarn from Baguio. Fingering weight yarn din siya. So ito yung texture niya. This one naman I turned into a headband or ear warmer. If you're gonna make this, you will need less yarn. Ito napalaki ng konti. You might probably work around 80 rows. And of course, you're gonna need some waste yarn at the beginning and the end of the process of making this. But in my next video, probably I'll show you how to make this one. It's very easy. And also, again, it will consume less yarns compared to when you're crocheting it. So that's, I think, one of the benefits of using the knitting machine and also when you're knitting. Also, this is the beanie that I have made using the Lanalon brand. So, single pull din siya. And this is quite similar to the Japan Surplus yarn na fingering weight yarn din. Yan. So, medyo loose ang tension niya at hindi siya katulad ng Indophil 4-ply na siksik yung stitches. Some of you might be asking about the thickness of yarn na uubra sa ganitong klaseng knitting machine. So, ito yung yarn na kasama. Ito yung free na yarn. Sample yarn na kasama dun sa Sentro Knitting Machine. And ang nakalagay sa label niya, it's categorized as the bulky yarn. Ito yung pinakamakapal na yarn na kaya niya. So, when I knitted this beanie, medyo nahihirapan na yung Sentro Knitting Machine. And you have to check the yarns every now and then. Kasi parang while you're cranking, parang nag-struggle na yung mga needles na umikot or mag-work. So parang if you want to have a dense stitches, you can use a bulky yarn. Ang yarn weight is preferably, I think, number 4. So I think if you use more than that, medyo maririnig mo na medyo iba na yung sound pag nagka-crank ka or nag-iikot ka dun sa Sentro Knitting Machine. So this is what it looks like. Of course, hindi siya bagay dito sa weather sa Philippines. if you have relatives abroad na merong winter season, maganda siya. And this is for an adult size, for adult to. So maganda siya and makapal. But of course, hindi natin magagamit ito sa Pilipinas. There are also some local yarns we call love nuts, and it's 100% acrylic. So ito siya. I've used two kinds of color. So yung first half nung row, it's in solid color blue, and then the other one, it's a multicolored. It's made of love nuts acrylic yarn. So you can consume about 2 rolls, bali 100 grams siya, but nung tinimbang ko tong beanie na to, it's less than 100 grams. So meaning, if you're gonna buy 2 balls of 50 gram each of this love nuts yarn, you can produce a beanie, an adult beanie, using the 48 pin Sentro Knitting Machine. So ito yung kinalabasan niya, which is really nice. I love it. And you can sell this and make this in just like under 20 minutes kung mabilis ka mag-ikot sa Sentro Knitting Machine. So ito rin, dalawa ang ginamit ko. It's multicolored yarn and solid one. And lastly, ito naman yung multicolored din, and then may konti siyang kulay na pink. So I have used some of my multicoloreds for this beanie kasi natuwa ako. Ang ganda niyang tignan, and also maganda siya gamitin for winter season. And if you have loved ones na gusto nyong gawa ng beanie, I think this is a good project for them kasi madali lang gawin, and I think in one day you can make as many as 10 kasi parang nasa 45 minutes lang ang, minsan nga 15 minutes lang ang paggawa kung mabilis ka mag-ikot, ganun. So other people, they use like a screw and yung drill para umikot na mas mabilis yung Sentro Knitting Machine, but of course mas prone siya na ma-break yung needle. So I don't use it. I just use my hands to crank it. That's why it's taking a little while to finish one. But of course, under 1 hour, you can make at least 2 beanies. So you know, pinaka-convenience when you're using the Sentro Knitting Machine. So my review for this knitting machine is that it's very convenient, especially if you're planning to do some donations. I think mas mapapabilis yung paggawa mo ng beanies, and also if you're selling a lot of beanies, I think this will help you a lot to produce beanies in just a short span of time. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, do not forget to hit like. If you have other questions regarding the Sentro Knitting Machine, please put in the comments down below and I will try to answer it for you. So thank you so much and have a great day. Goodbye.